This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life, your money, and with Ken being here, particularly your career. That's right. You're thinking about a new job. You're thinking about participating in the Great Resignation, as they're calling it out there. You're thinking about shifting and moving to something with purpose. Ken's new bestseller, Paycheck to Purpose, answers that, and he's here to answer your questions. He does that several hours a day on radio as well, but joins us here for the 3 hours of the Ramsey Show today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Mike starts us off this hour in Charlotte. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. I'm going to be on my last baby step to debt, which is a auto loan that has 0% interest. And
Good
I'm wondering
for you.
why I should not. Well, thank you. I'm wondering why I should not just go ahead and start saving for baby step 3 and just pay that loan out per its terms for the next 10 months, considering mathematically it makes no difference.
Well, mathematically it does make a difference because we're not talking just about interest rate. We're talking about cash flow. And also we're talking about you completely changing your view and your habits on debt, because the shortest distance between where you are and wealth is to do away with and stay away from debt. And the way you framed the question makes it sound like you think this is still smart. Like you'd do it again.
I mean, no, I would not.
Okay, if you wouldn't do it again, then let's get rid of it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a mindset shift as much as it is a math equation. Personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. And so your cash flow is being eaten up by a freaking car payment. And so what you're doing is you're permanently drawing a line in the sand and saying, that's it, I don't borrow money anymore, particularly for stupid cars. And, and when you break that cycle in your head, that's when you begin to move forward on things. It's not just what is the interest rate. If people were doing math all the time, they wouldn't be using credit cards. If they're doing math, they wouldn't have gotten a student loan.
Well, I think it is a math issue, and I think you've just seen it the wrong way. The reality is whatever that car payment is, let's say it's $350, $400. I think the average car payment's in that range, $400.
$500.
It's now $500. My goodness, it's gone up. Several years ago, I did a video for our company. It was like $450.
Yeah.
So you take that number out of that monthly budget, right? You're not paying all of a sudden. It is the math problem in the right way. Now all of a sudden we've got some freedom to put that money, or as Rachel says, freedom to spend. It gets that emergency fund juiced and full so much faster, and you never know what could happen to where, I've got 5 more months, and get rid of it now.
Part of the math equation is cash flow.
Cash.
Yeah, and your most powerful wealth building tool is your income.
Yeah, so eliminate the payment.
Don't give your income to someone else, even if it's at 0%.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Good question, though. Fair question. All right, Leo is with us in Houston, Texas. Hey, Leo, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Ramsey, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate everything you do. I think you all are great.
Thank you, sir. How can we help?
All right. Long story short, I'm a nurse in the healthcare field. I've saved a little bit of money here, so I have about $75,000 saved in my accounts. The thing is, I've got about $60,000 left in student loans, and I'm like you. I think about paying it off real quick. I want to put a lump down just to take care of this loan as much as I can, but I know it sounds kind of straightforward or question, but with the new administration coming in, do I have to wait until they make an announcement of whether or not they're going to relieve some of the student loans? Because they started to do it with some of the people in public service. So I was just kind of wondering what your thoughts are on that, because I'm just sort of sitting here and, kind of trying to play the calculation game, but, just wondering what y'all's advice on that is.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you picked nursing. It's a great field to go into. Very well done. And $60,000 in debt. What's your income?
It's about $80,000.
Good for you. How old are you?
I'm a little bit older. I'm 40, so
Okay.
I got a late start. But that's okay. So,
Well, here's the thing. Let's go back on a couple of elements of your question. Number one, the Biden administration has not done any student loan forgiveness at all that was not already on the books. They've not initiated a single thing. They've been in office for 10 months, 11 months, almost 12 months.
Okay.
And and so they've not done anything yet. Now, they've all talked a lot, but welcome to Washington, D.C. Now, and here's the second thing. Now, you can do whatever you want to do, dude. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. But what you're asking is you're asking Ken and I. So I'm 61 years old, and I've yet to receive a blessing from Washington, D.C. Either party.
Okay.
Neither President Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Carter. These are all while I was an adult. Okay? Obama. Who am I leaving out? God help me. Trump.
Second Bush.
Trump, Bush, and Bush.
Yep.
I've yet to get a check from any of these people. You know where I built all of the wealth that we've built is I took control of my own life, and I decided I was going to control my house, not wait on the White House.
Yes, sir.
And so it's just a philosophy of life. I think those people suck, all of them. And I'm not waiting on any of them. I think they're all a tick on the butt of America.
Yeah.
And they're parasites. And I don't think I'm going to wait on any of them for me to have a high-quality life.
Yeah, while you're waiting on that, wait for pigs to fly. I mean, it's the same exact scenario. Think about how much further along you're going to be in your life if you cut that check today. Today.
Yeah. I mean,
I've got 15 left over.
I have like 3 friends that are politicians, at 4 if you count some local people. But at a national level, and they're friends of mine, and I appreciate who they are, but I ain't waiting on any of them to fix my life, Leo, because you're going to have a long wait.
Yeah.
If you wait on someone in the White House to fix your life is going to suck. So no. Don't wait on Biden to fix your life. Don't wait on Trump to get reelected to fix your life. Don't wait on whoever you want to throw in the pie here of disgust. But don't do it.
Yeah, and let me take this on practically in 30 seconds, folks. Let me just give you the other side of the story. That's a campaign promise. You might hear it from the other side of the aisle. So Dave and I aren't picking on Biden. Don't get your
I'm picking on all of them. I'm an equal opportunity offender.
But listen to this. It's a campaign promise. It is not good government business, all right, for them to pay these off. They make too much money off of this. There's state dollars invested in this. This is one of the most, slimy, intricate situation, and they're not going to ever do it. There's too many political reasons not to do it. Don't buy the lie, ever. They're never going to do it. I'm just going to lay it out there.
I mean, they've done a lot of stuff I never thought they would do, but I'm not sitting around waiting on them to fix my life. I know that.
No.
Pay it off, dude. Fast as you can. Oh, by the way, you borrowed it, too. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're ready to get out there and find a job you love, then you need to hear this. Job hunting can be stressful and time-consuming, but my friends at ZipRecruiter have made the whole job search way easier. ZipRecruiter is rated the #1 job site in the U.S. by G2, and it's free. So how does it work? First, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Then create a free profile and let their technology do the hard work by finding and sending you jobs that are a great fit. And get this, ZipRecruiter pitches your profile to companies whose jobs match your skills and experience. If someone from that company likes your profile, they can personally invite you to apply for the job. So if you're ready for an easier job search, check out ZipRecruiter. Sign up for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Sign up today, absolutely free, and let ZipRecruiter work for you.
Coleman, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Well, the Christmas countdown is on, and at Ramsey Solutions, we've been in a Christmas frame of mind for many weeks now, and we're having a great time handing out cash as part of our Christmas cash giveaway, because if you didn't know, giving is the most fun you'll ever have with money. Every year we celebrate Christmas with our Ramsey Show listeners with an awesome tradition, our Ramsey Christmas Cash Giveaway. This year we're giving away $500 every week, already have several times, and a grand prize of $5,000 up until Christmas. You can enter to win every day to increase your chances of winning. No purchase is necessary. RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. And we know you plan on doing a lot of giving. Everything's on sale at our website. It's our biggest Cyber Monday sale ever right now. You can get up to 79% off. A lot of our books are on at $10 each. And today we've got special deals from all of our Ramsey personalities. It's the perfect day to get Christy Wright's 2022 Goal Planner, Rachel Cruz's Money Assessment, and Glenn Coleman's Career Assessment, because these are the lowest prices we've ever put them on the site. Friday, we broke the internet during Black Friday. Some of you tried to get on then. And so we've jacked up everything right now, and it carried some of our Black Friday prices over into Cyber Monday, so you can still get the deals. So check them all out. If you missed out on Friday, we were down for a few hours, and over here working our tail off trying to find that line of corrupted code. But we got her back up, and no problems now. We're all here to help you. Check out RamseySolutions.com. Hit the store for all the deals. 'Tis the season.
By the way, they called me in to help out with that, and I was able to find it. That one little piece of code, Dave. I just wanted to make sure you knew that, because I forgot to send you an email.
I have no response to this level of lying.
I honestly couldn't believe I got that far out of the sentence before you cut me off.
Yeah. You finding a line of corrupted code would be like me finding a line of corrupted code.
I don't even know what corrupted code means.
We wouldn't know it was corrupted if we found it.
So thankful for smart people.
We know what a corrupted politician is, but we don't know what a corrupted code is.
No clue.
So, but we do have about 400 and something people in this building that are phenomenal at all things digital, and that includes the SWAT tactical team that went in there and found
unbelievable.
The internet hiccuped, and there you go. Who knew?
Yeah.
Things we didn't have to worry about when I started this business a few years back.
Isn't that the truth? I read the email and I go, wow, it's amazing what we get to do because of really smart people.
Yeah. And how dependent we are on them.
Isn't that the truth?
All right. Weston's with us in Nashville. Hey, Weston, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Howdy, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, so I'm also a nurse. I'm on baby step 4, and what my question is should I have money set aside to go to seminary right now because I'm wanting to change careers, but should I use that money to go to seminary, or should I use that money to make a down payment on a home?
Wow. From nursing to seminary.
Yes, sir.
That's an interesting call. I like it.
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
26 years old, sir.
Okay. When will you enter seminary if you don't buy a house and have the money?
If I don't buy a house, then I could do it January.
And you would take you how long?
To complete seminary?
Mm-hmm.
3 years. I would get my master's in divinity, sir.
Okay. All right.
What's the goal? What's the end result?
The end goal is I would love to be a pastor, and that's why, I've read your book, Proximity Principle. Mm-hmm. What I want to do is I want to faithfully serve the people, serve God's people. Mm-hmm. And what I've been doing is obviously reading my Bible, reading the books, and serving as best as I can. What I'm concerned about is that I won't be fully educated to serve as best as I can. I'm not chasing a degree. I'm not chasing a piece of paper. I'm just chasing the maximum amount of education. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're aware there's a lot of highly effective pastors that do not have an MDiv.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My dad started 2 churches, pastored for 47 years, and did not get his MDiv. Now, he did go to Bible college, and he did a lot of studying, and the guy read commentaries, still reads commentaries. So I think that what you've got to understand is there is opportunity for you to get more biblical knowledge, to learn and continue to learn, whether you have an MDiv or not. Now, I'm not trying to talk you out of doing an MDiv, but I do think you've got to understand that there are multiple pathways. and different levels of education, none of which...
It's not table stakes in that world.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the knowledge that you get from MDiv is not table stakes to be a pastor. And so I want you to understand that. And so then that makes me back up and say, I want you to go. I'm more worried about seminary and more worried about you going into the ministry than I am you buying a house. Yeah. So let's just take the house off the table and let's move towards your new career as fast as we can. But I might add some steps to your career transition to see if you really want to spend the money and the time on an MDiv. You don't have to spend 3 years to get an MDiv to be qualified.
So let's play this out. Are you wanting to be a senior pastor as it stands today at 26? Is that the goal?
Eventually, but I don't think right now I have the spiritual knowledge
No. And you don't, and it's okay. But let's back this up now. If right now, and this can change, we know it's ministry, but it could be senior pastor. Maybe you find as you get into it that you'd rather be an executive pastor. That's just as much ministry as a person who's preaching on Sundays. I think you got to actually look to get in a volunteer ministry position. You're a nurse right now. You're in great shape financially. I want to see you try to work towards a part-time, so right now volunteer, and then try to move to a part-time ministry position. Churches need folks like you who they can't pay full-time, but they need somebody to step in. And I would truly work the proximity principle, which for the audience says, in order to do what you want to do, ministry, pastoral work, got to be around people that are doing it in places where it's happening. Get in and sample and taste and see all the different types of ministry positions. At 26, you can learn a lot just from doing that, Dave. And then you volunteer a little bit, maybe a part-time role, and you
start
stay
taking
in
a
that
few
nursing
classes
job.
at a Bible college that would count towards an MDiv.
Yeah.
But don't wait to start your ministry until you finish an MDiv.
Yeah, get into it and see what, maybe it's youth, maybe it's singles, maybe it's, pastoral care, where you spend your whole week visiting people. Counseling is a form of ministry. And then, of course, the senior pastor or the executive pastor. Really need to get in and see it, taste it, experience a little bit of it. And then at 26, 27, 28, you get a better idea which path you want to walk.
Yeah, and we're throwing around inside baseball terms. MDiv stands for Masters in Divinity, for those of you that are wondering what the flip we're talking about.
That's right.
But, get a master's degree in seminary is what it amounts to. And it certainly qualifies you to do a lot of things in the church world, without a doubt. The knowledge base does, not the piece of paper. And he's approaching that from the right angle. But to answer your overall question, I would put your career shift ahead of purchasing a home right now. You've got plenty of time to buy a home later. And it's a weird market to buy in anyway right this second. Like there's 9,000 buyers for every house that's for sale and that kind of stuff. And so, it's not a bad time to sit on the sidelines anyway, and let's just take some steps. But I might take a different step than saying, I got to go get an MDiv before I'm qualified knowledge base wise to do ministry. Not true. Not true. That's not an accurate situation.
One of my dear friends, when Stacy and I lived in Richmond, Virginia, when we first got married, went to a church, and the pastor there was probably 32 and was in his first senior pastor job, had worked his way into it, and he got his MDiv while being a pastor.
Yeah, I know several guys.
So that's a very normal path as well.
Sure, and the church will pay for it.
Yes, most of the time.
And it's not unusual at all. I've been in several situations where the associate pastor was working, continuing. I mean, it's continual personal growth in your field of endeavor.
That's right.
And so you got to do something to continue your personal growth. And, ignorance is not good in any field. So, that's not an unusual growth path for someone sitting in an associate pastor role or a young adults pastor role or whatever to be working on that. And many times the church, if it's a church of size, will pay for it. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Jonathan and Sarah are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Doing great.
Good to have you guys. Where do you live?
Phoenix.
All right. And you're all the way to Nashville to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$32,000.
$32,681.
Yep.
All right. Very good. And how long did that take?
13 months.
Okay. Very good. And your range of income during that time?
About 80,000 to 120. I'm a realtor, so it kind of bounces up and down a lot.
Okay. Cool. And what do you do, Sarah?
I am a signing agent, and I also am the project manager for our new business.
Okay. Very cool. Like
I'm
sign
a mom,
language
too.
agent? Like
Signing agent. I work for a title company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That would be cooler.
Well,
but-
we've actually had, when we've done live events, we have people do sign language, and there's usually a local agent that'll book them for us. And that's what I thought you were talking about, so I just learned something. Okay. But instead, you work for a title company, and he works for a real estate company. Now I'm catching on. Okay. All right. Very good. What kind of debt was the $33,000?
A little bit of everything. We had a couple credit cards, student loans, medical debt,
Car payment.
IRS debt.
Yep, a lot of IRS debt.
Y'all are kind of normal.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of everything. I mean,
Yeah.
just walking along, no money.
That's what it felt like,
making money, but no money.
Absolutely.
pretty much.
How long you been married?
Oh, 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah.
So what happened a year and a half ago that was the wake-up call that gets you on your Ramsey journey? Tell us how you hooked up with us.
Oh, well, we've actually been listening to you for like our whole marriage. We just got serious about 2 years ago. We had to sell our first house because we couldn't pay our debts. We thought that would fix the problem, but it didn't. We still started accumulating more and more debt, and it still wasn't working. So we actually got out of debt about seven months ago, officially. And so about 2 years ago, we got really serious. We had our second child, and now we have 3. And we're like, yeah, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so then you decided you weren't going to just listen to the radio. You're going to actually freaking do the stuff
Yeah,
now.
right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, the wake-up call was there. Babies will wake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In more ways than
They
one.
do.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they'll get it going.
Yeah, it's fascinating that for nearly your whole marriage, 12 years, you were familiar with Ramsey Solutions and what Dave teaches and everything, and then so you agreed with it. It just wasn't urgent enough, and then all of a sudden, whoa, we got to do it. So I'm just curious, when you make that decision, what actual changes did you make? Was it right away? Was it a week later? How abrupt and intense was it?
Yeah, it was. I would say it was pretty right away. We got the Ramsey Plus app, which now is called the Every Dollar. At the time, it was Ramsey Plus, and that I think was a big catalyst. Like watching what our money was doing every month, and we were every week or month we'd sit down and look at it together. She started getting really like awesome, crazy selling stuff, Craigslisting things, Facebook marketing things away to like pay off extra little chunks of debt. So she was probably the most inspired, and then I kind of jumped on board. And
Sarah, did you ever sell anything that was his that he didn't want you to sell?
No, he doesn't really have a lot of things that would be super valuable, make a lot of money.
I'm not sure what that says, but that's
well,
funny.
maybe the computer and the TV, but I use that too, so we can't get rid of that, of course.
He doesn't have anything super valuable she wanted to sell. That's what it was.
Right,
Okay.
there it is.
Exactly, that's right.
There we're going. Now we got it.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was hard too because like the nature of his business is he gets these commission checks, and sometimes they'd be really big commission checks, and we'd think about all the things we wanted to spend our money on. We're like, oh, we could, with $10,000 we could do all our flooring, we could, paint the walls, we could do all this stuff that we wanted to do. And then like we would sit there and be like, okay, but if Dave Ramsey was here sitting with us and he heard our situation, what would he say? And it was always, we got to pay off all the debt. So it was awesome because like sometimes I'd be tempted to be like, okay, let's use this commission check to buy something, and he'd be like, no, we can't. And other times he'd be like, well, let's use this commission check to do this, and I'd be like, no, we can't. What would Dave Ramsey do? So,
which is code for not really that I'm going to come to your house or something, but it's really code for what is best for our future,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Versus the short-term feeling. It's,
absolutely.
Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. So it's, I used to kind of go, well, that's weird. People go, what does Dave say? Because it doesn't matter what I say, really. What matters is what you do. But really what that's code for, if you decode it, it's like, what is the smart thing for me 10 years from today? That's the question you're asking yourself in a sense. Yeah. And you go, oh, we got to get out of this debt. Because when we get out of this debt, then we've got money and we're open. We can go other places.
Yeah. What's one of the most extreme things you did? We heard about selling stuff. Is there something that was just you look back on and you go, man, this was tough to do?
What's something really people made fun of you for?
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear a good story. You got it?
I think selling our first home to pay off all our debt because we couldn't make our payments was probably the craziest thing.
Oh yeah.
We did. Because I had just had a baby and I wanted to stay home with our baby, and I was like, there's no way that I can do this with all the money that we owe in debt every month. And I love the Every Dollar app too, because when we finally decided to get serious, we paid for that service because we didn't want to pay for it before. We're like, well, we can't pay for this. We need to use this money to make a debt payment.
Yeah, that $10 is
$10.
We'll take
$10 a month. Yeah. Every little bit helps though, like that's how I felt. So we didn't do that the first time we tried to do Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, I think I convinced you at one point. I don't know what we were watching, and I was like, it's $115 for the year, but let's do it. Let's watch all the videos again. You know, we got all the accounts connected.
So you went through Financial Peace University in Ramsey Plus,
yeah. Yeah, we did it the second time, and this time it stuck for us. So, but I love how the software works, where it kind of allocates all the debt together rather than all your car expenses. Like you have your auto debt, you have your gas, things like that. With the Ramsey solutions, the Every Dollar, I love that it puts all the debt together, because then you're like, oh my goodness, this is all the debt. Yeah. And we were paying $1,200 a month.
We're like, we could be paying for a whole nother house with this debt.
It was the same as our mortgage payment. So we were like, this is not okay.
Wow, that's good.
And visualizing that is what changed.
That's good insight. I'll let the Every Dollar team know. They'll be proud to hear that. They designed that on purpose. I happen to know that. But way to go, guys. Very, very well done. Okay, when people ask, what do you tell them the key to getting out of debt is?
Not spending more than you make.
That's a good one. I'll take that.
I think budgeting too, and we really liked sitting down together every month, once a month, to kind of go over things, because it kind of put us on the same page, and it got us excited for the next month. It got us excited for the next debt payment.
A regular meeting together and deciding like, hey, what do we spend our money on? And
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think when you do that, you can see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it keeps you going.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just an oncoming train.
Yeah, especially when you pay off your first kind of chunk of debt. It's like, wow, we could do this. Like, we could keep this going. It's going to happen, and then it does, and yeah.
Yeah, powerful. Well done, you guys. Well, we have a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you, the new book that's coming out in January. You're going to get an early release copy because you're on your way to being that very soon. That's your next step. And we also got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away right here at Christmas time, and pay it forward and give somebody else their wake-up call. Say, this is the stuff we did right here. So we're proud of you here at Ramsey. Way to go. Excellent, excellent job. All right, it's Jonathan and Sarah, Phoenix, Arizona. $33,000 paid off in 13 months, making 80 to 120. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! A lot of insight there. You have to, we talked about that in the first segment. We're talking to the young man paying off his car. You have to change some things in your life permanently that are behaviors. And sometimes you're almost doing them symbolically, but other times you're doing them tactically and practically. But the rhythm of doing the budget together and looking out in the future and going, okay, what would we do if we were thinking about our future selves? Translation, what would Dave Ramsey do? But I mean, what would we do if we're thinking about the future and being wise? This is what we would do.
Yeah.
Very well done. Very good stuff. Jonathan and Sarah are heroes from Phoenix, Arizona. They took control of their lives. I'm proud of them. Well done, well done. This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Pedro is with us, and he is in Hartford, Connecticut. Hi, Pedro. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how are you, Dave? Are you able to hear me?
Absolutely. What's up?
Oh, my God. I'm excused. I've been watching you for the past 2 years, and I'm just thrilled to be speaking to you. And,
Thank you. You're going to need to speak directly into your phone. It's a little bit muffled. How can we help?
Yeah, so I'm going through, me and my family, we are going through a crisis at the moment, and it's in regards to my little brother. And what is going on is that he's not respecting some of the boundaries that we got in place at home, which is causing difficulties around the house. And I wanted to know, how can we move forward as a family as we try to deal with that situation.
Mm-hmm. How old is he?
He's 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And what my mother tried to do, we try to speak to him, and like, hey, David, this is what's going on around the house. You keep coming in late. You still, smoking marijuana. You still doing all these things that we don't want you to do. But David still, his name is David, but he still chose us to do those actions because he says,
So your dad's not in the picture?
No, he's not. He's not. Well, we have different dads. His dad lived in Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
And how many other siblings does David have?
He has he has a lot of them in Puerto Rico, but living with him right now, he only has me and his little brother. His little brother's like 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what year is he, junior or senior in high school?
I believe he's a senior this year.
Mm. When does he turn 18?
March 4th.
Okay.
March 4th.
All right.
And what is happened is that my mom is like, hey, that at some point we cannot keep living like this. It's hurtful. We seeing the things that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's causing harm to himself, but it's also hurting me and my mom because we love him.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't know what else to do, Dave. Yeah. We tried everything. We call DCF. I've been in the picture. Mm-hmm. The police has been in the picture.
Why were the police in the picture?
The police are in the picture because something happened last year. I don't know the exact details. I think he was involved with some legal issues. I don't know the exact details, but I don't know if he stole something, I think. Mm-hmm. The police were involved, and that caused DCF to be involved in the picture.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Listen, Ken nor I are family therapists. Dr. John Deloney would be ideal to be sitting here, but he's not. So I'll just play Papa Dave, Grandpa Dave, okay? And that's my only expertise in this, which is, in other words, very limited. And I've never faced something like this personally, so I can't imagine the heartbreak and the pain that you and your mom are going through that this young man's misbehavior is bringing to you. The only hope I've ever had influencing someone, it has not been by force, although I've been tempted to. It's by someone, I mean an adult. And this young man's old enough and physically large enough that he's acting out as an adult. And so the only thing you can do is talk him into it, in other words. And the only way I've been able to do that is put someone that has credibility, someone that he believes in his face. And, it might be that there's a couple of guys at the local church that you guys are members of would sit down with him and you, and the four of you go out for coffee, and they just look at him and go, look, knucklehead, you're stuck on stupid, and you're getting ready to have a really long life if you keep living like this. Because come March, you're not going to be our problem anymore. We're putting you on the street. But after that, you're going to have a long life, because knuckleheads always have a long life. And it's always painful, and you're being a freaking knucklehead. And so when are you going to straighten up and be a man instead of a little boy? And who's going to call him out on that where he's going to listen? And I don't know who that is. But he needs the knucklehead speech because he's stuck on stupid right now, and we got to unstick him, right?
Absolutely, Dave. And Yeah, and that's, you know, I agree with you. I think that somebody who he believes in can probably help, because mom tried. And
hey, Pedro, let me ask you real quick. Is Mama paying for anything that he's benefiting from right now? Cell phone, car? What's Mama paying for that he's using?
Phone services at the moment.
Yeah,
Well, she pays.
Take that away. Take that away tonight.
I would take. Here's the thing. I think Dave's right on the knucklehead discussion, but I also think that this is a kid who's hurting, and because he's hurting you all, and he's lost. He's flailing. Who knows what all's going on? We're not privy to that, but I would tell you that he's already causing pain for you and your mom. And today's point, you're not kicking him out maybe at this point because he's not 18 yet, but I would take away every benefit that she's paying for. I'd take it away with a very clear conversation. This is why I'm doing this. This isn't working. I'm not going to fund this anymore. It's gone. And you can start to figure it out on your own, plus the knucklehead speech. But I think she's got to cut all benefits, all blessings.
I've been to Connecticut
today.
In March. It's cold outside.
Yeah, I think he needs to feel some more pain and desperation.
And I don't know. I mean, look, dude, if you want to live here, these are the standards. And if you're not going to be up to those standards by March, you're gone. Now, your mom needs to be able to back that up and say that, and you got to back her up. And between now and March, take stuff away from him and try to put people in his life to influence him and help him. But I don't know how you turn someone like this. Sometimes they have to hit the wall on their own.
Yeah.
And until they find some pain, they don't get a wake up call. The 12-steppers talk about that all the time. You have to hit bottom before you know, and sometimes you hit bottom hard before you get this stuff. But you know, he's mighty cocky for a guy with a warm pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we can get him a cold one. That's all I know to do. I don't know how to do it otherwise. And that's not being tough or mean or angry. It's tough love, because the current thing we're doing is creating a juvenile delinquent. And so we have to not keep doing what we've been doing. So we have to try something new. And that is an act of love, because it's not going to be easy for you and her to watch someone that you love be on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro, I'll ask you a quick question. The consequences that are coming from his behavior, are they hurting you and your mom more or hurting him more?
I would say it's hurting him more.
Yeah.
I think even though I don't he's not as open to me.
Yeah. Maybe an afternoon lunch at the homeless shelter would be good for him.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to be, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know that he doesn't want he has some mental health issues. They're not as bad, but he doesn't want to.
Well, that's a whole different equation. You just changed everything.
Right, we offer her. Yeah, right. We offer her. Hey, like, dude, like, we can help you. If you see someone, and we're there for you, but he denies everything from what we're trying to give him.
Yeah. If you want to stay here, here's the rules, and you're going to do these things. You're going to be in on time. We're not smoking pot. We're not stealing stuff, and you're seeing a counselor that we'll pay for. If you're not willing to do these things, then we are not going to participate in your downfall. We love you too much for that. And that's what some people call tough love. I think it's just called love, actually. But and I don't know how to do that other than that. If there's some way you can love this guy well, and some other way you can put your arm around him and walk with him that's softer or gentler than that, I would try to find that. Because that's a very harsh thing we're discussing here, but ultimately that's where you're headed, because you know, enabling does not help anyone. Just putting up with it, in other words, doesn't make anybody get better. Never has. You got to do the work to decide, and ouch, the hard thing, dude. And keep in mind, none of us are licensed therapists to give you advice. We're just a couple of old farts sitting here giving you our best shot at it. This is The Ramsey Show. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, best-selling author of the book Paycheck to Purpose, is my co-host today. We're taking your questions about life, money, career, jobs, whatever you want to do. It's The Ramsey Show, which means it's all about you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Michael is in Orlando. Hey, Michael, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Ken, thank you so much for talking with me. I just need to start off by saying you need to apologize to Kelly, your screener, for me, because I had to lie a little bit to get on the phone with you. But since I got you on the phone here, I just wanted to let you know, Dave, I called you a year and a half ago. You recommended us to sell our condo because the HOA dues were insane. Well, we finally did that. We have $100,000 in equity. And we just paid off our credit cards last night, and we just want a little direction. How should we properly invest this money so we don't squander it on dumb things like tractors and stuff we don't need?
Okay. I'm confused why you had to lie to get that question on.
Because we tried 3 times, and she said, we can't take that now. You got to call back another day. So at any rate.
Okay. Well, what happened was you got lucky. Kelly wasn't here. Laura was here today.
Right on.
So,
well,
all right.
I apologize to Laura.
So, that's okay. So you got $100,000 in money laying around. You're afraid you're going to fritter it away.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're thinking $20,000 for our emergency fund.
Okay.
We have 3 small kids. We're not super stoked on college just because the way the world is turning. However, we do want to maybe stock a bunch away in mutual funds for them. We just don't know exactly what that looks like and where we should park most of that money.
Are you going to buy another house?
My wife would like to purchase another house or property, and we just don't know kind of if that's a good time to do that now or not.
Okay. Well, what I would do is just give each of these dollars a name, like you named 20,000 of it your emergency fund. I'd set that in a separate account for emergencies only. And I would never touch that account except for emergencies only. And then if you give $60,000 down payment on future house a name, I'd put that in a different account also. And then that keeps you and none of these accounts are attached in any way to your checking account. So you can't get to it easily. And the both of you agree that we're not spending this money. It's our house down payment money. It's our emergency fund money. We've given it a name. It now has a purpose. It now has a mission. It can't function otherwise outside of its mission that it has now been given. And if you want to spend, the remaining money, if there's any remaining money after that still needs a name, give it a name. We're gonna enjoy some of this money. This amount of money is for enjoyment, meaning we don't have to report back to ourselves on it. We can spend it without regret. We're gonna be generous with some of this money. Hey, it's the holidays. Great time to be generous. It's always a good time to be generous. Never a bad time to be generous. So maybe be generous with some of it. But give the dollars an assignment, because when they lay in a quote-unquote savings account, that's an account we put money in, take money out of. Put and take account. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. And it doesn't have a name, and it does get frittered away at that point.
Yeah, it's too much of a temptation. And I love what you're saying there, Dave. Putting a name on it. Then don't just put a name on it. Make the decision. Go ahead and put it there. Like, get it out there. Sit down and go, what's most important? I think you got to look at the big picture, too, when you get a big sum of money like this. I think, obviously, the savings part is huge. Some celebration is, I think, very healthy. But then you got to say, okay, what's the best use of this money long term. Let's look at our joint goals as a couple. What matters most? This money needs to go to fund that, not just, we could buy a house.
What makes the 10 year from now version of me happy with the current version of me?
Yes, I like the long view. If you come into a big sum of money like this, and this is, of course, walking through the baby steps, right? So it's not outside of our baby steps plan. But I think in that situation, I want the biggest ROI.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm out of debt in baby step 2.
Yes.
And I'm going to make sure I have an emergency fund 3 for sure. And then, then you decide, what are we going to do with this? We're going to invest some of it. We're going to put some of it for kids' college. We're going to put towards a house. I don't care what you do with it. The trick is this. What you're concerned about is the most important concern, is you want to be intentional, not accidental. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. As long as you have a plan. No one sits down and goes, I'm going to intentionally be stupid. We all wander into stupid because we didn't have a plan.
That's right. I actually want to ask you a question because he brings up a very good point. And you and I are a little bit different on the college play. I'm a guy that goes, if it's not the only way to get where you want to go or the best way, don't do it. He has to bring up a very interesting question. So I have a question for you on behalf of the audience because I want to know what you think. So he's saying, we don't know if they're going to go to college. Is college going to be relevant? Is basically what he was saying. It'll still be relevant on some level. But as a parent, so they're walking the baby steps and they're like, I don't know if our kids are going to go to college. Whether you agree with them or not on college as a destination, if they pause or they just don't do that step, what do you advise them to do with that money? If they're not going to invest it for their kids, college.
Well, I think you should. I think you should save
regardless.
some. I think you should save some for college because education of some kind is going to apply to a 529. Yeah. I mean, you can go to a technical school and use your 529.
That's what I thought.
You can get a welding degree.
That's right.
And get your 529. And so if and you're going to have to learn to do something.
Right. So the 529
couch potato is not a job, you know, and so it's like you got to have something you can do, and you're going to have the brain power, the skills to do that thing, and generally that's going to require some training that you pay for.
Would 529 also go towards like technical training, any kind of trade, anything?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Anything that falls under, quote, higher education.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So that can be used.
And it goes to your spouse and to your siblings as well. You can go, mom and dad can use it. Kid can use it. It doesn't have to be that kid if that kid just decides to go. And if they do go to school and they do get scholarships, the scholarship you can take out, say you get $8,000 scholarship that year. You can take $8,000 out of the 529 and pay no taxes and no penalties on it.
Yep. So
completely tax-free growth. You can take out the equivalent amount of the scholarship each year and file it on your taxes, and you have no taxes on it.
Follow-up question on that. I've always wanted to ask you this, and it's relevant at this moment. Let's say they're walking the baby steps out, and the kids are late elementary, maybe 5th, 6th grade. What do you recommend as far as the amount? If they're playing, so they haven't been able to invest from the time the kid is maybe a toddler.
You probably can't do enough to overdo it.
Right. So you're saying play catch up aggressively.
That late in the game, you probably can't. Most people won't have $10,000 a month or something. They're not going to put that kind. It's not a situation, and there's not a 529 that will allow that anyway.
Right.
But you probably can't either by law or by personal income capacity have room to overdo it if you're getting started in their 12. You only got 6 years.
Exactly.
So you're gonna be short.
Right.
Even if you wanted to pay for all of it. So in most cases. So just look at that and make some common sense decisions. But I think it's a bad idea not to save for making your brain grow for your 3-year-old. Your 3-year-old needs to have a growing brain when they're 18.
Right.
And we need to invest in that. And so just saying I'm not going to have their brain grow. No, I'm not up with that. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Open phones if you want to talk jobs, career, money, life. We're here to help. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Brittany is in Seattle. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I just want to first say that your book, Total Money Makeover, and the podcast really changed my life and my financial future. I'm on baby step 4. And in addition to this, I have about $50,000 saved for a home purchase, although living in Seattle.
Good job.
Thank you. It's a really high cost of living area here, so I know it's going to take me a lot longer to buy, and I'm in no hurry to do that. Mm-hmm. The reason for my call, though, is my grandmother passed away earlier this month, and she left me with a $100,000 inheritance. And I just want to make sure that I honor her memory by doing the right thing with the funds. So I laid out a couple of options. First being, should I add it to my home fund? Second being, should I buy index funds? Or third, what I really want to do is potentially use a small amount to facilitate a career change, but I'm not really sure where to start. So that's kind of where I'm at with things.
Okay. The greatest rate of return will be the career change.
Yeah.
That's where you'll make the most money on the money you invest, assuming you're investing in some kind of certification or education that's going to allow you to make more money.
Yes.
So what are you talking about doing?
I work in for a large tech company out here, and I make great money right now, but I don't love my job. What I would eventually like to do is own my own business and potentially work in real estate. I'm really good at numbers. I love working with people too. But that's like such a big jump that I'm not really sure where to get started. I know, though, that that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is helping people.
Okay, so define that a little bit more.
What do you make now?
I make $180
a
year.
Okay. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
Well, define the real estate and numbers. So is that all one thing, or was that I want to do some real estate and I also love helping people because I'm good with numbers? Can you define that more specifically? Give me that, at least at this moment, that top of the mountain that you're aiming for.
Yeah, so I guess it's less about money, but I like to be the person that kind of sits with people, learns about their needs, and then helps them get to the next step. When I was a lot younger, I wanted to be in finance. I'm good with numbers, and I was good at advising people. The reason I brought real estate up is I just find that world and that area to be really fascinating, and I'm passionate about it. I like learning about real estate. I think potentially fixing up homes and then reselling them could be really interesting. So I don't know if that's enough definition, but that's
No, it's good. Okay, so
when I think of owning my own business.
Yeah, well, so here's the deal. This could be a both and I think what you have to do, I'll just motor through this because it's really simple. You're kind of paralyzed with where do I enter in because you're not quite sure what mountain you want to climb. It's either, well, I'm not sure. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to spend some time with a Ramsey SmartVestor Pro in your area. I want you to look them up. You probably already use one. I hope you're using one locally. I'd spend some time with them, coffee and lunch, and really just do a quick term paper style questioning on them, like you're doing a college term paper, and get the ins and outs, the highs, the lows, because this enjoyment for advising people and this enjoyment with numbers and helping people take steps, that's a guide. That's an advisor. And so I would look into that because, being a SmartVestor Pro, that fits really well with what you're saying. But then helping people make decisions on their home, that's a big financial decision. Eventually getting into all cash, of course, your own real estate investing, that's a part of the process as well. It doesn't have to be either or. It could be both and, but it could be seasons. But I think what you have to determine is, would I rather sell homes and help people get a home, or would I rather advise them on their investing and their retirement? Because once you decide which of those is going to give you the most juice, that becomes now, okay, how do I enter into that? So I'm clear, get clear, stage one. Stage two is I have to get qualified to do that. What do I have to learn, do, how much is it going to cost, how long is it going to take? Then it's not so scary. And the $100,000 could go, or some of that could go towards that financial training. But I think on the career side, depending on what Dave wants to weigh in on the $100,000, you got to get a little bit more clear. You're really close. Then you know what the pathway is, and then we know how much that's going to cost.
Yeah, it sounds like, I'll give you an example of what could happen. You could say, all right, I want to be a real estate agent making $200,000 a year. And in order to do that, it's going to take me 2 years. 6 to 8 months of that is going to be getting licensed and starting my training process while I keep my $180,000 a year job. Mm-hmm. Maybe the next 6 months is even selling real estate part-time while I keep my $180,000 job. And then once I've got some closings in the hopper and some notches in my belt, so to speak, then maybe the next year I make a jump, and maybe I don't make 180, but I only make 120, so we budget 60 of this to cover the difference, if you even need all of that to live.
That's true.
And so I'm good with holding all of it back for the transition, as long as the transition is done with a plan and not just this, I'm going to leap off the cliff and hope that I really needed an extra large parachute, but I brought an umbrella. That's not a good plan, because you can blow through that $100,000 in a heartbeat, right?
Yes.
If you do that. So you need a detailed plan of exactly how this is going to cause you to make the transition. But if you end up at the end of this story having used some of the $100,000 to make the transition into being a real estate agent that makes $200,000 a year, and you gave up a $108,000 job to do that, that was a good move.
Yeah.
If you end up being a real estate agent that makes $30,000 a year and you gave up $180,000 a year, that was a dumb move.
Yeah, not a good move. And same thing, by the way, the same thing that Dave just walked through, that works on the other side if you want to go into financial investing. And here's the key, day job to dream job. You've got a great day job. You do not have to jump and just go whee off of a cliff here.
Right.
We can incrementally get to this top of this new mountain.
Yeah, don't Mary Poppins it.
Please
don't.
Use
the umbrella.
It's not necessary. My goodness, $180,000.
She's the only one that flies with an umbrella. The rest of us don't. So it's just
right.
it's a Mary Poppins rule. So
that's right.
I tell you what, hang on. We're going to send you a copy of Ken's book, From Paycheck to Purpose, that'll help you make that analysis. Mm-hmm. And then once you've made this decision, then that will tell you how much of the money is freed up to maybe put into an index fund for a future home purchase. You might do a 1-2 combo of those two ideas. Jeffrey is in Salt Lake City. Hi, Jeffrey. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
How you doing, Dave?
Great, man. What's up?
I am 16 years old, and I am wondering what I should be doing with my money as far as saving it and investing it.
Okay. Do you have a car?
I do. It is paid off. I paid in cash, and the only thing I pay for is insurance and gas.
Cool. Nice. How much money have you got saved?
I've got roughly about $5,000 saved up that I have not touched in a couple of months.
Wow, you're a stud. Well done. Where are you getting all this money?
I work as a server at a local diner just down the street from where I live.
Yeah, you've been working your butt off, too. All right. Good job, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Are you going to college?
I haven't quite made that decision yet. As of right now, I'm looking towards a trade school and just get a degree, something in there.
How are you going to pay for it?
Ideally with cash, and I don't want to go in debt as I get older.
So you got to pay for it. Mom and Dad aren't going to write checks?
No.
Okay.
I'm paying for it.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, what are you thinking of studying in trade school?
I'm thinking about following what my cousin did. He went to an audio engineering. and did an internship down in LA.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of following a similar path to that because he's, for him being 19, he is making a pretty penny.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any interest in audio engineering, or does it just look cool because your cousin's making good money?
I've been, so I'm a musician. I've played drums for 10 years, and audio has been very special to me. So I want to try to make that a job that I enjoy and want to go to.
Got it.
All right. Well, Jeffrey, I wouldn't do anything fancy with this money, because the best return on investment that $5,000 will give you at 16 years old is to invest in some kind of education. And that's what I would hold that money for. So I would set it aside in a simple savings account and keep piling it up. See how big a pile you can have, and so you can write a check and go become educated in whatever it is, whatever field it is that you're going to move into, and pay cash for it. That's going to give you the best rate of return.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at betheltech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Sam and Samantha are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Hello,
Welcome.
how you doing?
Where do you guys live?
Orlando, Florida.
Awesomeness. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
Very cool. So how much debt have you guys paid off?
$59,000 in 6 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started off at $150,000 to $200,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I am a CT tech, travel CT tech.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a medical dosimetrist.
Ah, both of you there, huh? Okay, cool. Very good. So how long y'all been married?
Just over 1 year.
All right. What's the $59,000 in debt?
A little bit of everything. We had credit cards, student loan, car note, and also like a parent/student loan.
Okay. So both of you brought debt in?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened right as you're getting married? You looked at this thing and said, okay, we have two messes. We're going to make a big mess in a one pile when we get married, but we're going to clean it up fast. Tell me the story. How'd you get connected to us, and what are you doing?
What ended up happening was the SMART conference last year in November, and we got a free consultation with a financial coach. And ever since then is kind of when everything took off. We kind of saw what we were spending, and that was very eye-opening. And then kind of realizing how much we needed for our future for retirement. That was kind of like, wow, like we need to get serious about this. We need to do something because we want a big retirement. We want a good, comfortable retirement.
Yeah, you work too hard to be broke. Yeah,
exactly.
You make a lot of money and you're broke. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So you sat down with a coach, and then what happened?
And then, so we've been with our coach, Daniel Huck, for a year now.
Yep.
And he got us through our budget, and he kind of gave us some tough love, which is what we needed.
Very.
And we just attacked the debt. It literally snowballed. We just got so excited. Every debt we would pay, it became more addicting to pay more and more debt off. So we just got so excited every time we would pay. It was great.
Yeah.
And that's ended up what happened.
Very cool. So the one-on-one coaching was your whole deal?
Yes.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
He was great.
Huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was
Once he
huge.
got us to do the first budget, we did the budget before we started the program. And when we realized where our money was going, because we're both sporadic spenders, we just used to just spend whatever we wanted to. We had a big shovel, so we decided to just, put it down on paper and look at it and realized, wow, we're really spending a lot of money on things we should not be spending money on.
With I felt like not a lot to show for it, I guess, if that made sense.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a healthy level of disgust.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny to watch you laugh, Samantha, as he was describing that. I want you to talk about that when the coaches get in there and they start really working with you on this, whether it's one of our coaches or, a great accountability partner or somebody in the Financial Peace University class. What happened where you went, oh my gosh, because you were laughing thinking about something.
Yes, I was thinking the biggest for me was the food and grocery budget, and that was huge because when he gave us our budget that he wanted us, and I was seeing how much we were actually spending, that was hugely eye-opening, where we were versus where we should be. And I was kind of like, wow, that was crazy. And he even told us a story about his what he does, because he's really just very Dave Ramsey, and he would split his cheese in half because that's just, they don't have extra budget. Exactly. And so that was wow, people are doing this, he's serious, and we want to be serious.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Split the cheese in half.
Yeah, I
haven't heard that one. You mean one square of cheese?
Yeah,
and
so
on the sandwich? Oh my gosh, that's next level. I heard of rice and beans. Now it's half a slice of cheese, Dave. It's gone next level.
And worse than that, it was called Very Dave Ramsey. I just heard it.
By the way, people don't know this, but I've seen Dave fix his own burger.
It's a whole piece.
He does a whole piece of cheese. He really does.
Well, when it's in the budget, you can have the whole piece.
There it is. Well played.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. Oh, man. Well done, you guys. How's it feel to be free?
Amazing.
Yeah, very good.
It's a feeling that I didn't know existed. I didn't realize what it would feel like until it happened.
Yeah. Have you ever been debt-free as adults?
No.
Neither one of you.
We were normal.
Yeah. And then you combined, and then now you cleaned it up.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
For us, I guess budgeting, dedication, and working together
definitely.
as a team.
Every month we would sit down and budget and talk about what we want to do, what we want to focus on, and just being on the same page.
Now, we're using every dollar, or you're doing it on paper?
Just on paper, yeah.
Paper, okay.
Yeah, and remembering our why, too, was the future. And with a little one on the way, now it's even a bigger why. So that was big for us, just to remember the why.
Yeah, change your family tree.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, it's all that stuff is singles. Now we're married. Now we're got a baby on the way. Now we're grown up. Now we're going to live big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, y'all.
Thank you.
Very, very, very well done. So proud of you. Thank you. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaire for you. That's a pre-release copy, and it's the one we send out to the press, the advanced reader copy, and that's the next chapter for you guys.
Yes,
we want you to be millionaires now.
Absolutely.
You're on your way to do that and build some serious wealth and generosity, and be set up for this new baby. This is very, very cool. And a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away and pay it forward here through the Christmas holidays. You can have a chance to say Merry Christmas and get somebody started on the same journey you started on a year ago.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. And you did this in 6 months. I mean, you guys leaned in hard.
I even got rid of my Mustang
Brand new car.
that I kept.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah, I had it for 1 year, but I enjoyed it while I had it, and that was the decision I made. It's like we got to go Gazelle type. So
what did that sell for?
I actually last year January it was $21,000 I sold it for, which is what I owed left on it. So
okay, so you broke even on that.
I told him I went
21,000 of the 59, and then game on, and 6 months later you're done. Yeah.
Yep.
So a little bit of a tear when it left the driveway?
Yeah, a little bit. Not gonna lie, a little bit.
I would have. I got a little tear and it wasn't even mine.
You gonna get another one?
Someday.
It's crazy because when I sold it, I said yes, absolutely. Once I get the cash, I'm gonna buy it. But now that we have the cash, to buy it, now I don't want to buy it. It's hard. I maybe buy that $10,000, $15,000 car that's going to keep me going. So
there you go.
When you have to spend real money instead of borrowed money, it's a different flavor.
It changes the old priorities.
It's a game changer for sure.
Changes things around.
Yep.
So well done, you guys. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're so fun. Who were your biggest cheerleaders?
Our coach, Dan Huck, and then my mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
So mom's proud.
So proud.
Yep. Getting ready to be grandma. Is this her first baby?
Yes.
First grandbaby? Yeah.
She's excited.
Man. Her life is good.
Yep.
Yeah, great stuff. Good job, you guys. Very, very well done. All right, it's Sam and Samantha, Orlando, Florida. $59,000 paid off in 6 months, making $150 to $200. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yeah!
They got through that debt-free scream about the same pace they got through that 59,000.
Yeah.
That's quick. They don't mess around.
They did a good job on it.
Very
well done.
impressive. Great couple.
So here's the deal. When we tell someone, they say, "Oh, got all that debt," and I say, "Well, you were just normal," that's not a compliment.
Right, no.
By the way, normal sucks in America. 78% of Americans have too much month left at the end of the money.
Yeah.
That's 8 out of 10 houses on your street are out of money before the month's over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stress. It's the number one cause of divorce in North America today. Credit card debt is a way of life. There are entire segments of the population that think you can't own a car or a house without a car payment or a house payment. There are entire segments of the population think you can't be a student without a student loan.
Right.
Normal sucks.
Don't forget the amount of people in the population that think it's okay to go into debt for Christmas presents.
Oh!
It's very normal.
Oh.
Very normal.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. New ideas and new behaviors change everything. This is The Ramsey Show. Christmas is coming up. You hear it. It's coming at you. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Here it comes. It's in December this year. They don't move it. How are you going to pay for presents, the bigger grocery bills, the travel? You need a plan. And that's one of the things we do in Financial Peace University is we make sure you have a plan, not only for Christmas, but for the rest of your life. And you can still get ready for Christmas. You can make it. In Financial Peace University, you learn step by step, not only how to get out of debt, how to save money, how to build wealth, but outrageous generosity. All with intentionality. In fact, the average household saves $2,700 and pays off $5,300 in just the first 90 days. And Financial Peace University is available as a part of your Ramsey Plus membership. And you don't have to live with a stressed out Christmas year after year. You can make this the year that right here at the end of 21, going into 22, you can just step it up and say, that's it. We're doing it. You can get started today, or you can give FPU as a gift by visiting RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Always Ramsey Solutions. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Financial Peace University. Almost 10 million people have now been through this class.
Wow.
It changes everything for you. Kathy is with us in Phoenix. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I'm not calling for myself. My husband and I are debt-free and have really just always lived, by saving money and not living beyond our means. I'm calling about my son because we constantly have a battle with him. He is 24 years old. He's amazing. He has worked a full-time job for the last 2 years since he graduated, and he also sells tennis shoes on the side. And he has saved up about $120,000, but he does not believe in putting any of his money into the bank. He tells us, why would I do that if I make 20% by reinvesting it in tennis shoes and reselling them? So he makes $60,000 a year, and he's made in the last year about $60,000 profit from selling tennis shoes. So all that money just goes right back into tennis shoes. And I guess I'm old school. It's hard for me to understand that he's not putting some of it away and not just reinvesting it constantly in tennis shoes. And he just recently bought a car, and he put down $10,000 and he's financing $20,000, and it's at a 6% compounding interest. And I'm telling him, no, you have the money, pay cash. And he's like, why would I do that? I'm making 20% off these tennis shoes. And then my last problem that we always have with him is he wants to quit his job and open up a tennis shoe store. And he's going to have to pay $75,000 down for that. And he has this debt. And so he convinces me when I talk to him that I'm like, well, I guess that's smart. That's smart. But I listen to your show all the time. And I'm almost positive that it might not be the smartest thing for him to be doing.
Can I ask a quick clarifying question? You led off by saying he saved $120,000. Then you went into all these details, and it got murky for me. Does he have $120,000 in cash sitting in a safe? You said he won't put it in the bank. I'm confused.
No, he has about $20,000 in cash, and he has about $100,000 in tennis shoes.
Oh, in inventory.
In inventory. So he goes to different tennis shoe shows, and he sells to also different tennis shoe stores. And he will sell them, make 20%, and then he will reinvest all that money. He lived with us for 2 years, but he is now on his own.
Okay. All right. So, number one, forget all the tennis shoes and the money for a second. The hardest stage of parenting for me has been when I no longer had control over my kids because they grew up.
I agree.
A lot of your sentence structure and the way you told the story told me that you're struggling with some of that too.
100%. And I'm trying really hard to let him do his own thing.
Yeah, but it is hard.
But I also want to give him
It is hard to
advice.
watch people you love do something that you think is stupid.
Right.
Or questionable in judgment, or whatever phrase you want to put on it. So number one thing is just Papa Dave to Mama Kathy. You're going to have to start treating him like he is the son of one of your friends who's 24 and he's like a man and stuff.
Yes.
Because you're using your mom voice on him. I heard it. And it has no power anymore.
I know.
So if you were talking to the son of your friend, you would use the persuasive voice, and I never heard you use it yet. Okay? So that's thing one. Regardless of what the content of our conversation from this point forward is, that's your only shot. Because this boy is known as a man now. He lives on his own. He pays his own bills. He's free. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. And he's not living his life to please his mom anymore. And it's not his job to either. You wouldn't want him to. That would be known as a mama's boy.
I know.
That'd be a mama's boy.
I know.
You didn't raise him to be that. You raised him to be a man. All right, now, then let's go to, if I was coaching my son's friend who was 24, not my own son, how would I talk to him about this, okay? You have done an amazing job, young man, with this tennis shoe thing. You are a freaking entrepreneurial rock star. I'm so proud of how much money you've made. Now, what you need to do to go to the next level, if you were to ask me, you might not be asking me, but if you were to ask me as a person who's older and knows something about business, I would say that you have too much tied up in inventory. If he were coming to one of our Entree Leadership courses and I was sitting and having a cup of coffee with him at the break at the edge of the stage, I would tell him, you have too much tied up in inventory. You're illiquid, and you need to slow down just a little bit. You're making really good money, and you fooled yourself into thinking you're a genius. You need to slow down about 2-3 clicks. And no, you don't need to open a store right now. You're making bank. Yeah, you may want to quit your job and do tennis shoes full-time because you're apparently very good at it. You need to pay off his stupid car. That was ridiculous. And then you need to just work your tennis shoe business and do it out of the apartment or whatever you're doing it out of now. Don't go open a brick and mortar and lose a bunch of money because you've got this thing on the run. It sounds to me like he's got an entrepreneurial gift, but he needs some business acumen to go with it, to fine-tune some of his finances so that he can take this tennis shoe thing to the next level. I hope he does that and walks away from this job, and hope he pays off his car, and hope he doesn't open a brick and mortar until he has to later on, because right now he's making bank and he has no overhead. Ken?
Yeah, Kathy, I hope you heard what Dave said here. There's a lot of practical stuff stuff, but what Dave's genius is on this is that you are now not telling him what to do, but you are now giving him advice on what he is already doing, what he wants to do. It's a total shift. And I got to tell you said twice in this conversation, and I'm a dad, and so I'm only speaking from where I've blown it in this particular area. I kept hearing you say, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard. I think that's not just a phrase. I think that's your real emotion coming out. I want to tell you to stop trying. And Dave just gave you the new pathway. You know what I'd do? I'd send him a link to an article or two of some hot young entrepreneur who cash flowed his way to an unbelievable business. Give some evidence of what Dave's talking about, how cash is king and how cash eliminates the risk. It sets him up to blow this business up, how brick and mortar is maybe a thing of the past. Things like that are more like, this is awesome, you're doing great. I think what Dave just laid out was a pathway for you to no longer try hard. Stop trying. Stop trying so hard.
Some information and some people in his life to polish this business acumen.
Yeah, and cheer him on when you give him that.
Yeah, because this guy's a stud, man.
Yeah.
He took air and turned it into tennis shoes.
Yeah, he's just young. He just business. You know what I'd do? I'd buy him a ticket to Entre Leadership event. I'm not kidding you.
Here, I'll tell you. Let me send you an Entre Leadership book.
That.
Let's give him an Entre Leadership book. For Christmas,
get him to something like that.
He's definitely an entrepreneur. He's definitely got skill, and he's got backbone. He's got moxie. He's got swagger.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid, man, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's very impressive. So, hang on. We'll send you a copy of Entre Leadership. We'll be cheering him and you on from the sidelines. And all of us parents who have kids that grew up, it's a heartbreaking equation.
I know. It's heartbreaking while they're still growing, Dave.
Oh, man. And just mix in a little family business with it. See if that doesn't make the stew interesting. Oh, you gotta love it. This is The Ramsey Show.
This is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Subscribe or follow today wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. He's the host of The Ken Coleman Show, heard on over 75 radio stations, Sirius XM, and a very popular podcast all across America, answering your questions about jobs and career and finding that paycheck with a purpose. So thanks for joining us. The phone number, 888-825-5225. John is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, John, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Nice to talk with you. Longtime fan, first-time caller. Actually attended your Financial Peace University at our Methodist Church a number of years ago. Cool. And really enjoyed it. Glad to say that my wife and I are now debt-free.
Good for you.
And have been for some time now. So you've really helped us out in our finances over the years. But I did want to call in because I've got perhaps a common problem with college-age kids. And I think you've touched on this in the past. But we have 3 daughters. Our middle daughter is a freshman at a university 2 hours away. Great kid. She was senior class president, athlete of the year in high school. She's got final exams coming up on her first semester, and all indications are her grades are going to be good, but she's got her finals here in the next few weeks here. But she's had a longtime boyfriend that's back in our hometown. He is 2 hours away from her. And we are concerned about him, particularly the influence that he is having over her. This is a kid, the boyfriend, that has not graduated college or high school. He stopped going to school and doesn't live at home with his parents anymore. He's sort of out on his own. And there's been talk of our daughter coming back home and not going to college 2 hours away because of the normal, hey, I'm in love with the boyfriend. And over the years, the last couple of years, there's been some negative influences by him. Alcohol a little bit, him, not her. Him having his license revoked for a little bit, those kinds of things. And I have a lot of older buddies, I'll say, that 10 years older than me and trusted friends that I've bounced this off of, and I'm getting a lot of different opinions on how to handle this. And I think in the past you have mentioned, hey, there's a couple of levers you can pull here, persuasion or the economics or financial aspect of it. By the way, my wife and I are paying for everything for the daughter, car, vehicle, food, tuition, everything. And we plan to do that for 4 years. But the boyfriend is just a bad influence. And if we clamp down on our daughter, we are almost certain that she's going to pick the boyfriend over us and supporting us through college. And just not sure how to handle it.
What gives you that belief? You guys, there's something in her life and her personality that makes you feel that, or is it just straight up fear? Any evidence that she would do that?
She is strong-willed. Where her mental state is now is that she wants to graduate as fast as possible so she can earn a lot of money, because she knows that he is not going to earn a lot of money because he does not have a high school diploma. And so she's obviously in love, and she's doing everything right except for the boyfriend, where there's a problem. Now, here's one thought that is going through our minds, and this is a little crazy idea, but maybe not, is supporting the boyfriend. In other words, being able to prove himself. Okay, hey, come on over to the house for dinner and let's have a conversation. And we would like to support you in getting your GED. And seeing if he takes us up on the offer. And if he doesn't, perhaps that proves something to our daughter, and she could see, hey, he's not going to really do what he's supposed to. Or a positive benefit to it is, hey, we've supported him, even though his family hasn't supported him as much through the years, and we're helping him. Our daughter sees that, hey, he gets a GED, and perhaps he's got the ability to get a decent job.
She your youngest?
Middle one.
Okay. What's her sister say about all this?
The sister's the oldest sister is a senior in college. She's about to graduate.
What does she say?
She doesn't like the boyfriend.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Yeah, that's simple.
Yeah. And then the youngest
turn her loose on her sister.
Yeah.
I can tell you, my three have policed each other at that age group when they were in that age group. They don't now because they have separate households now, and they're all standalone adults, and they respect each other's boundaries now. But if both my daughters were in college at the same time, if this had been going on, one of the other ones would have said, "Hey, you got to be kidding me! This guy's a loser," and she would have called it out that way. You're being real nice, but that's what you're saying. So I think the only other thing I can tell you is you more than your wife probably have more influence with her than you think you do. And I get that from Dr. Meg Meeker. And I would pick up the book. Matter of fact, I'll send you a copy of it called Hero. And it's all about how dads are a hero, that good dads are a hero in their daughter's eyes. And you probably can, you're very even-tempered. You're not saying anything flamboyant. You're not going over the top one way or the other here. You're not abandoning this. You're willing to stand in the gap for her. You're willing to make it difficult for her own good. But you're trying to just be wise about how to get at this whole thing. And that tells me you're probably going to find the right equation. Because of who you are, and I think she knows who you are, and I think the guy I'm talking to is a guy she'll listen to. And it might be you just you make a couple trips over there for Saturday morning breakfast. You make the 2-hour drive, and just start speaking into this situation very bluntly, and say, I've known guys like this my whole life, and we love you, and we're going to walk with you. We're not going to abandon you, but this is a bad situation, and I'm worried about you because I love you. And I think she'll hear you more than you think she will.
Yeah, and real quick, John, I want you to try smothering this kid with kindness. Asking him what is he planning to do. Put some kind pressure on him. See if it freaks him out, gets him to leave.
It'll run him off. If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. All right, listen up, everybody. I got a secret to share with you. You ready? Christmas is 27 days away. 27 days?
Hold on a second. I got to write that down.
It's breakthrough information right there, Coleman. You didn't have it. They put it on the calendar every year, and yet it sneaks up on us every year. We know you're planning to do a lot of giving, and that's why our team has put everything on sale. We're having our biggest Cyber Monday sale ever right now. We even added to it because we had a downtime on Friday with the website. Yeah, they gave us an opportunity to beef up today a little bit. So today only, we have special deals from all of our Ramsey personalities. The perfect day to get Christy Wright's 2022 Goal Planner, Rachel Cruz's Money Assessment, Ken Coleman's Career Assessment. Lowest prices ever to date on all of those. Get your gifts for your family, your friends, even yourself, up to 79% off. Our biggest Cyber Monday sale ever at our online store at RamseySolutions.com. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings, because they're the best. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. It's a great American company. Be sure and check them out if you need window blinds. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Dawn in California. What advice do you have for stay-at-home moms who want to re-enter the workforce? I have only had one job, and it was many years ago when my firstborn was little. I feel completely unqualified to go back to work, but would like to get a job so that we can pay off our debt more quickly. Should I go back to school for training, or just jump into something entry level? Well, there's a lot of advice that I try to give to stay-at-home moms, and the first piece of advice is to always look towards the talent you have. You haven't lost your talent. Could you go for some new training and polish those skills? Absolutely. But in this situation, I want to focus on the debt first, and here's why. When you all want to get out of debt, and that's the primary motivation behind this question, that tells me we got some gazelle intensity, and it also tells me that you're going to be a little bit more clear, a little bit more confident on finding out what you'd like to do, or not even go back to work once the debt is paid off. So I think the debt is the number one priority here. I would go get a job, a good paying job, because there's a lot of them right now that allow you to just simply do something that you're good at. This is talent only here, because our primary motivation is more money, bigger shovel to pay off the debt. Now, as you get back into the workforce, you're paying off the debt, you get some motivation there. Before you know it, you're going to be in baby step 3. I'd keep working there, and I'd get that baby step 3 fully funded there. And then I'd begin to think about, all right, what is it that I would really like to do? What's the work that I would love that would create a result that matters to me? That's if you decide to stay in the workforce. So in this situation, Dave, I'm always going to tell somebody, let's not spend extra money on training right now. Let's go get a bigger shovel, knock the debt out. Then that gives us more options.
Completely agree. It's just go make some money.
Go make money.
And the other thing is a body in motion is easier to redirect than it is to get one in motion.
That's right.
So while you're out there moving around, you may bump into the thing that lights up your life.
That's exactly right.
And you go, wow, I never, that's so fun. I like doing that.
Yeah.
Or I hate, this thing. I hate numbers and details.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that you're going to learn some things that's going to direct you one way or the other through whatever you're doing. So there's no lost motion in this, as long as you don't feel like you're stuck in whatever it is.
It's very interesting that you use that lost motion. I think that's really deep. The inertia that we see when we listen to Debt-Free Screamers or we watch them, however you engage with this show, and you watch the stories and you see how their dreams evolve, you see new things come to life, discipline grows. That's what's going on here, and it's going to set you up if, as a stay-at-home mom, you want to stay in the workforce. I think the inertia that the debt-free journey provides is invaluable beyond living like no one else. Now you can work like no one else, give like no one else. I mean, there really is tremendous motivation that comes from accomplishing something like that, because then you go, if I did that, what else do I want to do?
But it's funny how many times in our life that we were in the process of movement towards something, and that's when we intersect something that's life-changing. Whether it's actually a career thing, it could be you meet your spouse, or she's already married. It could be you meet a mentor. It could be that you you stumble across things if you're stumbling.
Isn't that true?
Forward.
Yeah, moving forward.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. And so there's some value in doing that. You may want to make it a little bit more refined than all of that, though, and just go ahead and take the Coleman Career Assessment.
Well, I'd love for her to do that.
That would help her.
I would love that.
Give you at least a general idea of where I might find some joy instead of just going after the money.
It's exactly right. And I think, I'm answering the question with singular focus, but I think it's a very good point, because here's the deal. While I'm getting out of debt in the just a job, while I'm getting out of debt, I'm doing the work of discovery. I'm taking the Get Clear Career Assessment. I'm getting from paycheck to purpose to see what does it take to actually reach the professional pinnacle. Is it possible? It's why we write books like Baby Steps Millionaires and From Paycheck to Purpose, so that we can show you a clear path. Hey, this is actually possible. So there's no question that while I'm getting out of debt, I can begin to see some things that maybe I never saw before. And that's what's so exciting.
Sherry is with us. Sherry's in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Sherry. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I need some advice. So I make about $42K a year. I've been off work a couple of months. I just started back working. I was out because I gave birth. I had a son, but unfortunately he passed away, so I was off for postpartum, and I wasn't receiving any paycheck.
Your husband passed away after you had a baby?
No, my baby passed away.
Oh, my gosh, honey. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So I was off work. I just started back working for the same company, but I wasn't getting paid because I didn't have any more sick time available. I had about $10K saved up, but right now I'm at about $5K with all of my bills. So my student loans, I have about $75,000. I have a couple of credit cards, so maxed out one of them, which is about $25K. I have a truck payment, which I pay about $628 a month, as well as
what do you
my
owe on the
monthly
truck?
rent. I owe about $26,000.
Okay.
And I have my rent is $1,700 a month.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get out of debt.
Are you
I don't
married,
know
did
if
you say?
No, we're not married, and we just recently separated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So all the income now is just coming from me.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can come out of debt and pay these bills down. With my student loans, I'm on an income driven, and so I've been at paying zero for that, but I still have, my.
What do
my
you
other bills.
What do you do for a living?
I do medical billing for a pediatric company.
Okay. Oh, cool. All right. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay. And this child that went to heaven was your only child?
No, I have a son. He just graduated and recently went to the Navy. And I have a daughter. She's 16.
Okay. All right. Okay, your math, the math that you gave me is very stressful.
Yes.
And you're pretty scared.
Yes.
And you've just been through hell this year.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust into this really hard to help you clean it up as fast as you can. So I'm going to be real blunt. You ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Your truck's insanity. It has to be sold. You can't even come close to keeping a $26,000 truck. Number 2, you're going to take 6 extra jobs. You're going to work all the time. Number 3, you're going to cut up all your credit cards and attack them with a vengeance. Number 4, we're going to walk with you and help you with a financial coach and with Ramsey Plus, going through Financial Peace University, and with the world's best budgeting app, and I'm going to pay for all of it and give it to you because I've been scared like you're scared right now, and I know how it feels. So you hold on. Laura will pick up. We'll walk with you, kiddo. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Christopher and Amanda are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, great.
Good.
Good to have you guys. Where do y'all live?
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Cool. Welcome. It's good to have you. And all the way over to Nashville to do a debt-free scream.
That's right.
Very cool. How much have you paid off?
$55,444.
All right. Very cool. And how long did it take?
1 year, 10 months, and 26 days.
1 year, 10 months, and 26 days, so 11 months. All right, good. And your range of income during that time?
Started at $92,000 combined and ending at $107,000.
Ended at $107,000. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an executive assistant.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So tell me about the $55,000. What kind of debt was this?
Mostly credit cards, some car loans, some personal family loans. Yeah, just the
kind of normal.
Yeah.
Kind of normal. All right, cool. So what happened 2 years ago, approximately, where you guys run into this Ramsey stuff? How did this all happen?
Well, I took Ramsey FPU, 14 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I knew better, but he jokes that I'm a lifelong learner, which really just means it's slow.
Oh, wow. All right. Whoa.
You said it, not me.
Vicious.
So I knew what to do, but that didn't always mean I did what I should do. So, I just racked up some credit card debt and things, just trying to make both of our dreams and what we wanted to do happen rather than, planning and budgeting and doing what we needed to there. So
what was the wake-up call 2 years ago?
She was the wake-up call to me. I had no clue that we were in any serious debt. I thought maybe $10,000 or something. So I was shocked when she said it's over $50,000. We got to do something about this.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden, like one thing had been a credit card had changed the number, and then it went to collections, and then everybody started calling and sending letters saying your limit is dropping, you're above your limit now, your interest rate is increasing. And it was like, on like 7 different cards, and it's like,
okay,
we got to get out of this. And I just got angry when I saw that one of them was like 25% interest, and I was paying hundreds of dollars every month. And
they've been smart if they'd left her alone and kept charging her interest. But then when they made her angry, she got out of debt.
Yeah.
So Christopher, she comes in and goes, it's not 10,000, it's 50,000. What'd you do?
I said, tell us what we need to do. I'll go along with whatever we have to do. She had all the plans laid out.
Oh, you already had it figured out?
She had it figured out when she presented it to me, and I said, absolutely, let's get it done.
Okay.
Never present a problem without a potential solution, right?
Wow.
I like this lady.
Very impressive.
I like this lady.
So what'd you do? All right, so I know you laid the plan out. How intense? What were some of the big major adjustments, if any, that you made?
Well, I mean, just even looking at everything that we had, we mapped it out for 3 years. It would take us to pay off everything. And I got to the point where once we got that first ball rolling, and then the car loan was gone, and then it was like, we just have to find money in the woodworks to pull and pay towards this. And then with the pandemic, with the stimulus money, all of that went towards debt. And
God was very gracious to us in the pandemic. It turned out to be a real gift for us.
Yeah, my job continued. I got a promotion during this time, and we just took every spare penny that came in and threw it at it, and came out a little over a year ahead of our schedule. So
wow, yeah, you just got after it, knocked it down. How's it feel to be free?
Grateful. I'm just so grateful.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Now that you did it all, you brought the plan, what did you do? Tell folks what the key to getting out of debt is.
To communicate with each other and to be diligent. Like, you just have to keep doing it. There were so many times that I started and stopped and started and stopped. But, once we finally got that momentum going, don't let it go.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Lean in and knock it all the way through. Yeah. Right. Excellent. Well done. So, Christopher, how long have you been pastoring?
About 30 years.
Okay. All right. So these were some scriptures you hadn't brought up before, huh?
Try not to talk about it too much. Do as I say, not as I
do. But now you're free. It opens up a whole other section of scripture, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So we have to ask, do you personally know Santa Claus?
I do not. I've never met him.
You never met him? Okay. I thought maybe you had. Okay.
Trying to replace him someday.
Okay. Well,
do you do this? Do you do this on the side?
No, I don't. This is just a COVID beard that started with the pandemic. I thought, well, I'll get rid of it when the pandemic ends, and it won't go away, and this just keeps getting longer and longer.
Well, it's perfect. It's a perfect for the season.
Thank you.
You got, your conversation piece for sure.
For sure.
I got to tell you, I've never seen a beard move with a person like that does. I don't know what you're doing to it, but that is
alive.
Aerodynamic.
It's alive.
It's. You put a lot of time into that, don't you?
It does take a lot of time. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You have to at least keep it until January.
Absolutely.
You got to at least do that. Oh my gosh,
That's
wonderful. Well done. Well, we're very proud of you guys.
Thank
Congratulations.
You. Thank you.
Very, very well done. I love it. Well, we've got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. That's your next chapter to become outrageously wealthy and outrageously generous along the way. Those are the two things that go together. And very, very well done. And that's a advanced copy of Baby Steps Millionaire. The book actually comes out in November. November's over.
It's
in January the 11th.
Yeah.
I'll get it out in a minute. Anyway, we've also got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody and minister to them and give them a chance to learn this stuff and actually start doing it. So very, very well done. Good stuff, you guys. Other questions?
No, I wanted to ask. I did want to know, because the way you answered, you were like, okay, here's what we did. I came in and we just started pulling money from the woodwork. I want to know, was there a tough like sacrifice, something where you didn't want to do it? He's looking at you with the hand up. What is that? What's going on there?
You?
Nothing? Well, we just started like going through and cutting out the the stuff that we didn't have to pay for.
Which is almost everything, really.
Right. Like keeping food, internet, and that wasn't non-negotiable, but cable is not negotiable for him. So trying to figure out ways around that, and then
In fairness, it was much easier than I ever imagined. It never felt really bad, to be honest.
Yeah. Just a matter of once you get intentional, it moves the needle.
Right.
It's just this living by accident thing. You do when you get on a budget, you feel like you got a raise. You're like, where'd it all go?
Yeah.
Where'd it all go? So well done. All right, Christopher and Amanda, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Count it down. $55,000 paid off in 1 year and 11 months, making 92 to 107. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free! Praise God.
That is how it's done. Well done, you guys. Very, very cool. So today's 3 hours of debt-free screams are interesting. 33,000, 59,000, 55,000. Not huge amounts, but all done in 13 months, 6 months, and 1 year and 11 months.
Yes.
So all done in under 2 years, all done in very short periods of time, very quickly.
Yep.
All making, looking down the incomes, roughly around 100 range, right around the $100,000 range. So nobody making $500,000 a year, and nobody making $30,000 a year. But in every case, incomes went up during the time that they're working on it, which usually happens because people start concentrating.
Yep.
And in every case, there was credit card debt. There was student loans, there was car payments, there was just the normal debt that's out there. The bottom line of the story of the debt-free screams on today's 3 hours of shows has been that you can do it.
Yeah.
Because these people are you.
That's right. And if we walked out on the street today with a camera and a microphone and said, do you think you could pay off $55,000 in 11 months? A lot of people would look at us like we're aliens. The fact of the matter is you can. But that's a staggering number to most people on the street. They don't think. They think $55,000 in 11 months? Well, it's actually extremely doable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beans and rice.
Yes.
Rice and beans. And it can be done.
That's right.
That's the trick. It can be done. And that sets you up then to become wealthy and outrageously generous. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Philippians 4:19. My God will meet all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. Les Brown said, too many of us are not living our dreams because we're living our fears. Ooh, Les. He's the man.
Yeah.
You got to love it. All right, up next is Mitchell in Chattanooga. Hi, Mitchell. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Quick question for Dave. So I've been listening to you for a while, and I know that you're against the traditional VA home loan, but I'm a disabled veteran, so I wanted your opinion on if you know anything about the disabled VA home loan.
Yeah, they waive a bunch of the fees. They waive a bunch of the fees, and the interest rate is better if you have full disability. So that makes the VA loan much better in your situation.
Okay.
Yeah,
and would one of your ELPs know more on it?
Well, Churchill Mortgage can walk you through it. That's, they're the people we've endorsed for 25 years on mortgages, and they can walk you through what the differences are. But what you'll want to do is just compare a Fannie Mae, a conventional loan, the costs of closing and the costs of interest rates and total fees up front and total interest rate, and compare that with a VA total up front. And you may find the VA gives with the disability may have a slight edge. It may be better. But that does not give you an excuse to buy a house with nothing down.
No, that's not the plan at all.
Yeah, it's just a matter of interest rate and fees is all we're talking about. And still on a 15-year fixed, and still where the payment's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay. But
yes, sir.
But it's the discounts over the standard VA loan are pretty substantial if you're a disabled vet. So it's something definitely to look at in your case.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the call. Brandon's with us in Rapid City, South Dakota. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I had a question about a Parent Plus loan. So on the Parent Plus loan, as a primary, the parent is, and then the student would be the co-signer. If the parent were to pass away, does the loan go away?
Wow. I do not know the answer to that question. It would be logical that it does, because on a traditional student loan, not a parent loan, if the student passes away, the loan goes away, and it does not hold the co-signer liable. So if you went and got a student loan and your grandmother co-signed and you died in a car wreck, the loan goes away. Or you become disabled and qualify for SSI, the loan goes away. You're declared fully permanently disabled. On a traditional student loan. On a Parent Plus loan, I don't know the answer to the question. It would be logical that it does based on the other program, the way the other program works, but I would have to get into do a little bit of research to be able to answer the question well. But that's a really good question. Have you looked at it? Have you looked it up?
Yeah. So my girlfriend, she's the one that has this loan, and her dad was the primary on it, and he has stage 4 cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So she's waiting to see, he's in chemo right now, so she's waiting to see the prognosis after this of kind of what's going to happen and what she should do, if she should pay it off or.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, has she looked it up and they do forgive it? Has she found that?
Yeah.
Found the regulation?
So yes, the student loan that she's under, that's what they had told her. But we were under the agreement that we should just pay it off. Or her and I both agreed is what I'm trying to say, because she has the money to do so, but felt like she might have been being lied to.
Well, what I'd do is I want to get the regulation in writing. Just send me the website. Okay. Send me to the regulation and the subsection so I can print it off and date it. Not just some goob on the phone. I don't trust a goob on the phone with Sally Mae. They make up crap for a living. But I mean, Navient is known for that's Greek for lying. And so, but yeah, you get in there. I would get in there and find something in the regulations. You probably can download the actual regs off a .gov site. I've just never looked it up. I never wondered about it. Now you got me wondering about it. I'm going to look it up. But
okay.
That's how I learn stuff on the show every week. Some question I have to go, I don't know. But if I were in your shoes, I would dig into the .gov stuff on the student loans. It's a pretty extensive site. And find it, or if you get somebody on the phone that's telling you it is forgiven, great. Give me a reference point in the regulations so I can print them off. A verbal confirmation of that with Sally Mae is not enough. But once I've gotten that, if I get that confirmation in writing, I've got an actual copy of the regulation. You trying to look it up?
Yeah, I mean, but I wasn't going to dive into it without reading it unless it's very obvious.
Yeah, But what I would do is, if I would wait on the prognosis, as cold as that sounds, to pay it off, if you've got the confirmation that the loan is forgiven upon his passing. Wow.
There are a couple articles here, so I would do some research. But
the Google Meister.
Yeah, it does say that federal student loans are discharged upon the borrower's passing.
That's a standard federal student loan, though. Yeah. I don't know if that's true on Parent Plus. That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get my hands on, again, something more than an article, too. I want to actually see the reg, and I want to have it in my hands, because it's going to come up later, and you're going to have to present death certificates and other stuff to get it forgiven. It's a process, and getting the whole process forgiven if there's a permanent disability is a lengthy process, but it certainly can be done, and it's what I would do if I were in those shoes. So, hey, good question. Did you find it?
Yes, studentaid.gov. That's the government site. and I would do the homework there. But it does say, in fact, that with acceptable documentation, the federal student loan Parent Plus will be discharged if the parent dies. But do your homework on that.
Yeah, that's fresh from Google.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's
and everything on the internet's true. So, yeah. And Ken Coleman's an expert at looking up stuff on Google. So
never done that before. I just thought, well, I'm going to look it up.
Hey, you pulled it off, man. It's a tag team right here.
There it is. So that's the federal student aid website.
So apparently that the information you were given is right, but I would get to that website then, federalstudentaid.gov, and I'd download not just the Q&A. I want to see the reg.
Yep.
I want to pull the reg and the section 11.465C,
yes,
or whatever the crap
that's right.
it is.
That's right.
I want that in my file because I don't trust these people.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Another Brandon is with us, this time in Baton Rouge. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Great, man. I'm real short on time. Ask your question quick.
Okay. Should I quit my leave my small business as a contractor? $25,000 this year, second year in business. Take a job, $75,000 a year. Traveling superintendent.
What kind of contract work?
Commercial.
Construction?
Construction, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I would lean towards the 75 now, but could you keep the small business open on the side?
I can keep my license. Probably wouldn't have time to do both, but I could definitely keep the license.
Yeah. How bad a financial shape are you in?
Well, I'm 32 with no debt. Probably $10,000 in emergency fund. Like to save for a house.
Let me ask you this, Brandon, real quick, because we got about a minute, so I'm going to ask real fast, okay? If you had made 75 last year for yourself, would you be calling us?
Not at all.
So here's where I'm going with that question.
What's it take to make 75?
What's it take to make 75 or make 50? Can you work a side hustle to get a little bit more money in? I know you want to save for a house, but the fact that you're in decent financial shape.
Well, what does it take to get your business to go from 25 to 75?
Just keep grinding, doing things I've been doing. I think it'll get there.
Yeah, you're brand new into this.
No, I think you got to have you got to keep grinding. Ain't 3x.
No.
You got to do something to go 3x here. We got to shock the monkey.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to do something big. You need a big plan, or you need to take the job.
Yep. And if you take the job, Brandon, you can lick your wounds on this and go, hey, I wasn't a failure. I just got to learn now. And I pay somebody else. Somebody pays me to learn the business, and I can adjust and come back another day and start your business back. This is not a be-all, end-all here. So
hey, jump into EntreLeadership on the website. I'm going to send you a copy of the book before you make the decision if you can, and talk to some other contractors there.
Yeah.
Because you're probably really good at your trade, but you're not yet good at marketing and running your business. And if you can get that solved and stay in business, and that's what you'd rather do, let's solve it. But just keep doing more of what you're doing, and you only made 25. No, you got to have something. You got a big plan here, because you got to get it to 75. It's not you need to go up $5,000. You need to go up $50,000. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free screen live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.